Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Over the course of last week, and this week, we saw the introduction of a new style of space station, which is called Truck Stop. Now, Truck Stop is like a medium-sized, low-tech space station, specifically designed to assist in the initial and future growth of the economy mechanic once 3.0 is launched. In essence, it's a platform or location used by us, the players, to buy and sell goods along our travels. Ships of most sizes, and even up to the Idris, which you can see docked to the actual space station itself, can dock and land at this station and sell the cargo or scrap that they have brought in, and potentially collect and load up on cargo to transport away from this. It is possibly a hub for acquiring other jobs other than just sort of cargo and trading, but I'm not too sure about that. But obviously you could always meet someone in a shady bar or whatever who's giving out missions. But it contains a new shop type called the admin office, which is focused on buying and selling imports and exports for the local stores on this station. Now, the other features include local storage rentals, which probably provides you with a space to hold goods, maybe waiting for a better price to change. Or if you just want to build up a greater inventory of that specific commodity, it includes a job board, which allows you to find jobs within the system. This is said to be in a place where there's no TDDs or your trade and development divisions. I expect there'll be weapon shops, armor shops, a bar, clothing shops, food courts, and all this, the regular stuff you'd expect to find. Potentially, it will have its own security force, maybe official to the UEE, but potentially a more unique to the station or the area. As well as habitation pods, a place where you can sleep and safely log off. Now, you're not likely to see the exact same shops that we have on the planets that we already can see. Some of these shops are unique to planets, whereas others are system-wide, so there'll be a variation of them. And it'll most likely use these modular pieces which are being built to create space stations much quicker, but with a more bespoke, sort of hand-done aesthetic. A bit like we saw with Olisar. Now, the way it works, I expect you'll land on one of these pads or attached to the docking arm, even though docking was supposed to be no longer. I'm not sure what's going on there. You'll take the lift to, I expect, either one or a number of locations. So it's either going to be you'll take the lift to a room full of panels where you can buy and sell, maybe to the storage rental area, possibly a jobs board, and then eventually a centralized hub, or it would just go straight to the centralized hub and you can walk around this area to find all these separate areas to buy and sell and so forth. It does look like these landing pads will extend out as and when needed. It could be a way to remove the ships more in fiction rather than just having them disappear from the pads. We did see 2 Idris, so there looks like you could dock 2 large ships, and I counted around 20 plus landing pads. And with the ships on these pads, you can see the scale is huge. We've got some grey box images with some information on them, and we see that this particular station has been expanded upon and developed over time to add the history to the station. It will feel lived in and used. I would expect the truck stops in stations to be heavily populated with NPCs. However, if it's sited around an area maybe like Levski, whether they'll have them out those, in nicks around those areas, it might be quite barren and give you an uneasy feeling. But it says the main hub will be heavily lit with advertisements, graphics and lighting, giving the sense of the backstory and life. It has solar panels on the very end on the rear, which will tilt and rotate to follow the sun, and they want to give clear approaches for the landing pads so it's easy to land without interference. Also, there are locations for potential future hangars. Hopefully this means that when hangars taking off from hangars is complete, we'll be able to do that. Maybe have an org hangar if you rent it for a certain period of time. But they want to keep the shape interesting with the extended comm details, the cityscape, sort of station bridge. It's got a distinctive visual language. You'll be able to identify it from a distance. When landing and taking off, you will have breathtaking vistas, especially if it's like they did the flyby with the grey box here. It's situated above a planet. It's going to look amazing. Huge connection bolts for attaching pads and main structures, so there's a potential to expand it as time goes on, or as and when maybe take it away if it's not as busy. Initially, when I heard about these truck stops, I felt a little disappointed that we won't be flying down to the planet and then going to visit your local sort of cubby blast and selling them lots of scrap metals or weapons. But it makes perfect sense and it does look amazing. I do love the idea of getting out of your ship with all your friends and getting into this lift together, taking it to the hub, and then everyone sort of going off and doing their own thing, planning to meet back, say, 20 minutes after the cargo has been unloaded or loaded up, and you go into the shop with your mates, buying some weapons, checking out the new armor, grabbing supplies for the next trip out. Very, very cool. This is needed for 3.0, so it won't be long until we are running around this station, which looks multiple times bigger than Olisar. I just hope that we get to have a game mode where we can retake it from an unknown alien species maybe Electronic Access can sort something out there. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, follow me on Twitch, Twitter and Instagram, and I shall see you next time.